Hey everyone. In this lecture, we're going to be talking about understanding the business objective for a project. There's a very common issue that happens with newer business analysts when they're assigned to a project, and it can cost companies a ton of money and cause that business analyst a ton of embarrassment and a failure at a very early project that they've been assigned. So let's take a little scenario. You're a new business analyst coming into the role. You're excited. You want to do really well. Maybe you worked as a shadow to a few projects where you were working alongside an experienced business analyst. And now you're getting your first project. You're extremely excited and you're ready to jump in. You're anxious. You're ready to go. So you get the project, you get some of the details, and you start setting up meetings. You're meeting with users. You're understanding what the project scope is, what the user requirements are. You're starting to define all of that and document all of it, and you're rolling through. So now it's a number of weeks later, and you've defined all of the requirements. You've gone through and worked with users and worked with the project team to make sure that you have everything that everybody wants. And now you're going through and you design and you work through the build. So now you're in development and everything's going really well. The project is just moving along as you would expect, and you're so excited, and everything's just working great. So you get to near the end of development, or maybe at the end of development, and you're going to set up a demo for the project sponsor and executives to show off this new software that you've been working so hard on. So you set up the demo, you're really anxious, you do the demo and you're working through and you're proud. This is an outstanding system that you've put together. It meets all or almost all of the requirements that users have brought up, and you couldn't be happier. You're on cloud nine. So you're demoing the product, you go through everything, and then you say, any questions? And the project sponsor speaks up and says, well, I think this is really great, but how does this solve the problem that we've been really slow to respond to customers within our customer service area? I didn't see how that was addressed. How are you addressing that issue? And the business analyst takes a step back and says, well, there weren't any requirements to kind of do that, to make that an easier path and to make customers get through the customer service piece faster. And the project sponsor says, well, that was the main goal of the project. That was the main objective. That's what we wanted to have happen. That was the whole reason we approved the project to move forward, as kind of that one critical component. Wow. That business analyst has worked and spent a ton of time, a ton of money, and they've worked through and created this product. And it may be a great product, but it doesn't meet the business needs. It doesn't solve for that objective. It doesn't meet that goal that was set forth as part of the project. There's nothing more you can do, right? I mean, as a business analyst, that is heartbreaking. So this lecture is to help you avoid that issue. One of the most common pieces that business analysts do is kind of skip over the objective and the goals at the beginning of the project. They're so excited, they just dive right into requirements. You absolutely need to tame that back a little bit. And first, as step number one, understand what the business objective or the goal of the project is. This is something you do even before you're identifying stakeholders, before you've ever talked to a user. You're just understanding, why is this project here? And there's three key questions you can ask at the beginning of every project to help drive that out and to make sure that you don't forget. So the first question is, what is the purpose of the project? Right? Why was this project approved? Why is we budgeting for this project? So asking the project sponsor, what's the purpose of the project, is the first question you should always ask upon being assigned a project. The second question is, what are the goals and objectives of the project? Where is the return on investment? Ultimately, you're kind of trying to drive out what is the main critical pieces and components that are being solved for with this project. And the third question is, in the eyes of this project, what is success and how will it be measured? If you don't know what success looks like, you're going to have a very hard time hitting success. So know what success is. Know how it's going to be measured. In our scenarios instant, success could be that the customer service or time a person takes to solve a case from a customer standpoint is less than 24 hours. Maybe that's the metric, and that's what they're having you shoot for. You need to know what your baseline is. What is it taking currently? Maybe that's taking 3 days. It's taking 3 days to work through, 72 hours, and now they want to shorten it up to within 24 hours. Then once you have those details, as you start working through and eliciting requirements, yeah, there's going to be a lot of other features and enhancements that they may want as part of the project, other efficiencies that can be done. But your number one goal should be to solve for the problem that the project is intended to solve for. Creating a product that doesn't solve for the problem wastes tons of time and money, and it quite frankly is extremely embarrassing in just about every business analyst has gone through and in one fashion or another have missed this. So make sure you're asking those questions, understand that business objective before you even start down the path of stakeholder analysis or defining requirements. I hope that helps saves a lot of embarrassment, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lecture.